All right. Welcome, everybody, to our coaching coffee talk. I hope you guys are comfy and you have a cup of coffee and you're enjoying your Saturday morning. My name is Sarah Davis. I have been coaching for a little bit over 2 years. I'm a one-star diamond coach. Michelle is also going to join me in talking. I'll let her introduce herself.
I want to do that. I'm Michelle Robinson. I am a diamond coach. Sarah and I are what we call success partners. We each have our own teams, but we collaborate together a lot. Our teams run groups together a lot. So Sarah and I thought it would be a great opportunity. We usually do our kind of sneak peeks in the evening after kids go to bed, but we thought we would change it up a little bit this morning or this month and try a Saturday morning coffee talk. So we're excited to have you guys here. We hope you have a warm cup of coffee, and we're just going to cover some of the basics. And if you have questions, please don't hesitate to speak up or raise your hand or let us know. And we'll give you the basics, and then we'll answer any questions, and hopefully we have a great time together.
So we're going to start off by sharing our stories and how we got into coaching, and then we'll go over what coaching is, what coaching isn't, and by the end of this, you'll know if this is for you or not. So I will start out. Like I said, I've been coaching for about 2.5 years, and I'm going to take you back about 4 years ago. I had owned my own salon, and long story short, it fell apart, bad partnership, so I had to leave it. But I had invested every dime I had into it and wound up having to claim bankruptcy because of it. So that was a very low point for myself, and I had to start over. I had to go work for somebody else. And at this time, my husband, we had based our life kind of around his salary. He had a good job, and then he lost his job. His company completely shut down, and he had to start over. He was a crane operator, so it's not like he could go just pick up at another company. There aren't many around. And it was a very specialty skill. So he had to go back to school, and we were literally I thought I was at rock bottom when I had to claim bankruptcy. Then we were really at rock bottom. We were putting groceries on credit cards just to survive. We had to get on state assistance to have healthcare for our kids. We went without it for ourselves, just trying anything to get through. So he went back to school. He got another job. I was, working crazy hours, nights, weekends, 10-hour shifts, and still we weren't making ends meet. And at this point, I was just, unhappy, unhealthy, snacking at work, not packing, food or anything like that. And I have 3 kids. So at that point, I had a 1-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 12-year-old. So 3 kids, packed on the pounds, and just had pretty much lost my passion for doing hair, and more because of the hours and the time away and missing those milestones with my babies than the actual job. I love my clients. I love those relationships, but it was just that time away from home. So I kind of started developing like my own passion for nutrition and doing my own research, and thought, wow, I would love to help people in this area because I suffered so much from that kind of stuff. So I started researching ways to do that, and decided to go back to school to be a dietitian. Well, guess what? I can only go to school part-time. I still had to work full-time. I still had 3 kids. So that was going to take 4 or 5 years to get through. And then you have all the school bills. And it just I started for a year and it was crazy. So I was working, I was going to school at night, more time away, and then racking up more debt. And at the end of it, I kind of figured I wasn't going to be making much more than I was making at that point. So was really all that worth it? And I would just scroll on Instagram, depressed on the couch at night. And I just happened to come across who's now my coach. She was also a mom of 3. She had retired from her teaching job. She, would post workouts and healthy meals. And I'm thinking, what the heck does this girl do? Like, this is what I want to do, So she had posted a workout on Instagram and said, if you want to see the rest of it, come over to Facebook. So I found her on Facebook, and she kept posting about this coaching thing. What the heck is this coaching thing, right? I'd never heard of it. I had never really heard of Beachbody. I had done T25 2 years before and died off after a week or two because it was so hard and I didn't know what I was doing and I didn't know what I was supposed to be eating or anything like that. So that was really my only experience with Beachbody at that point. But I was really interested. I really, just kind of connected with her, which was weird to me. I connected to somebody from, that I met on the internet. But I asked her what it was about, and she put me in a sneak peek, which is kind of what you guys are experiencing now, but it was kind of topics spread out over a couple days. And I love the idea of the whole thing, being able to do this from home and be home with my kids and still help out financially. But of course, I had so many concerns at the same time going through this. Was I going to have enough time to do this? How much am I going to have to work another 8-hour job just to make it work? Which no, is not the case. And also, I'm super shy. I'm an introvert. I do not talk. I'm not that person that will go talk to strangers at parties or anything like that. Can I do this being so shy? And yes, you can, Tara also is an introvert, and it's much easier when you're building your business through social media and you're getting to know people one-on-one. And that definitely helped me a lot. And then the other part of it was I don't have any money, right? I can't afford to buy a franchise or put up thousands of dollars to start this. So that was a concern of mine. I know with other ones, there's $1,000 buy-in. I don't have $1,000, right? So that was a concern, but again, that wasn't the case. And then, do I need to be a fitness professional? I'm just a normal mom with 3 kids that is trying to help other moms feel confident, and it was nice to hear that no, I don't have to be a fitness professional, and I don't have to know everything about nutrition or anything like that. So I decided to go for it. It felt right. There was just something about it. I said, what the hell? I'm jumping in and we'll see what happens. And it was literally the best decision I've ever made, besides marrying my husband and having my kids. But so I'm going to fast forward to now. I only work at the salon 1 day a week. I'm home with my kids the rest of the time. I'm the one putting them on the bus. I'm the one getting them off the bus. I'm at their sporting events. I'm not missing out. And we're not in debt anymore. We paid off our van early. It's just not that constant struggle of, oh crap, I'm going to the grocery store. Can I buy groceries this week? And just not to have that stress on your shoulders is an amazing relief. But just more than any of that, my own self-confidence and my own health has changed dramatically. And the community and the relationships that I've built through all of this I can't imagine my life without it. So that is my story and how I got involved with coaching, and I'm going to throw it over to Michelle.
Thanks. So my story is a little bit different than Sarah's. And I think that's part of the thing that I love about coaching the most is that all of us have different stories, different backgrounds, different histories. And that's kind of the best part of this community is you have an opportunity to walk side by side with people who are completely different than you and have different backgrounds, and it doesn't matter. Ultimately, it just doesn't matter. So for me, I have actually always been in the fitness and wellness industry. My degree is in physical education with a focus in fitness and rehabilitation. And right out of college, I went and I worked in a fitness center and did some personal training and loved it. But after about a year, I decided that the four walls of a fitness center were not the place for me. I loved what I was doing, but I didn't necessarily love the monotony of the day in, day out, going into the fitness center, cleaning fitness equipment, that type of stuff. So I actually ended up getting into corporate health promotion. So then I was going into companies and doing lunch and learns and health screenings and talking to people. And that's kind of where I spent the next 18 years of my career, was in the corporate sector of health promotion and fitness. And for the past 12 years, I have actually been a high-level account manager. And so that has kind of taken me out from being in the field and has put me behind a computer for the past 12 years. And while I loved what I was doing on a daily basis, it really removed me from having that one-on-one interaction with the end users of the products that I was promoting and the products I was helping to develop. So 2 years ago, it was January 2015, I decided that I really needed something to kind of reconnect me to that one-on-one interaction with people. I had the August before, so August of 2014, I had actually purchased the 21-Day Fix and Shakeology and had my own sort of breakthrough with it. I had been on a 8-month weight loss plateau. I was running half marathons, but I was stagnant in my weight loss. I felt good, but I wasn't where I wanted to be in terms of my weight and kind of how I was feeling. So I purchased a 21-Day Fix and Shakeology with a girlfriend of mine, and we did it together, and I was blown off of my plateau. I lost, I think, 8 pounds in my first round, and I felt amazing. And I just knew that these products were worth something. And so I started to look into Beachbody. I have said it time and time again, I literally would pull up the terms and conditions of being a coach several times. Like between August and December, I must have opened that document at least 8 or 10 times, trying to find like, where's the loophole? Like what's the catch here? And I could never find it, but I would get nervous and close the document and be like, nope, I need to put that to rest. So it was January 2015. I remember it was a Sunday morning. I was laying in bed. My son was watching cartoons. My husband, I think, was still snoozing. And I just said, you know what? I feel like this is kind of that vehicle I can use to reconnect me with helping people. Like I wanted to help people and I wanted to have that interaction with them. I knew these products were amazing and I felt like this was going to be the way to do it. And I could do it from home on my own time. So that was the best part. I had thought about getting back into a fitness center. I thought about, I was even talking about possibly becoming like a Weight Watchers team meeting leader, because I had done Weight Watchers in the past and had been successful with that. So I was trying to think of all these ways to do it, but all of those ways would have required me to spend time outside of the home. And at the time, my husband was working in offshore drilling, which takes him away. If you're familiar with offshore drilling at all, it takes them away for 3 or 4 weeks at a time, and then they're home for 3 or 4 weeks at a time. So 50% of the time, I was solo parenting. I was home alone with my son, who was in pre-K at the time. I was working full-time as an account manager, And I was looking at all these options, but they were all options that would take me outside of the house and did not work with our lifestyle at all. So the fact that I could do coaching from home was awesome, and I could do it on my own time. So for me, it was really an opportunity to bring in some additional income, do it from home, do it on my own time, and fill my cup for what I felt like was missing from my actual career. And it was going to reconnect me with people and give me an opportunity to work one-on-one with people with something that I was experienced with. Like I said, I had done the 21-day fix myself, which at the time when I signed on was like the huge program. That was like one of the newer programs. Everybody was having success with it. It was a great program. It fits most people's lifestyles, 30-minute workouts. So it was something that I was experienced with and felt like I could easily talk with people about. And I had the background of my history of all of the years of fitness and health promotion. So for me, it made sense. It fit my lifestyle. Part of the reason that I wanted to do it too was because I had seen the success that other coaches had had. And for me, I needed to fill my cup, but I also wanted to find a way to bring in extra income so that we could potentially bring my husband home. So as I said, he was working offshore drilling, gone 50% of the time. And he took that job because he had retired from the Navy and there were not very many opportunities available in our area. We do have a shipbuilder in town that builds submarines, which is he would be perfect for. Hello, 22 years in the Navy. You'd think he'd be overqualified to work at a company that builds submarines. But he didn't have a college education. So they would not look at his resume, like literally would not look at his resume. So he was forced to take this job in offshore drilling, which was, the income was great and stuff. But after 2 years, we were really kind of burnt out of this idea of him being gone. So I did want to bring in some additional income and figure out a way that he could potentially take a lower paying job and not have it affect our lifestyle, not have it affect us being able to pay our bills. And so I'm happy to report that almost a year ago, he was able to do that. And we did it without feeling an impact on our lifestyle. We're still able to take vacations. We're still able to live comfortably. And it's because of coaching and that income that I have been able to build for myself. And I will do the little disclaimer. I know we'll talk a little bit about this later, but Beachbody does not guarantee any level of income. So it's solely on the responsibility of the coach and the effort they're willing to put in as to how much income they're able to make, which there's a glass ceiling on that. So, but we were able to do that, and now he's home. And so that is huge for us. And that was definitely one of the driving factors behind me also choosing to do this. So that's my story. We are going to jump in with some basics. And like I said, if anybody has any questions, please don't hesitate to speak up.
All right. So, like Michelle said, we're going to talk about some basics of coaching. So we came up with 10 things that we feel you need to know to decide if coaching is for you or not. And the first thing is pretty much coaching in a nutshell. You get paid to get fit and to reach out to others and help them do the same. That's it. Your job is to take care of you and to further your own fitness, and you're leading by example, you're building relationships and getting to know people and helping them do the same. And that is the general of coaching.
We don't focus on sales with coaching. I know with other opportunities like this, multi-level marketing, it's all about sales. But when you're talking about health and fitness, you're working to help other people be healthy. And so it's not about sales, it's about lives that you can touch. And we run a lot of free groups and we run a lot of monthly challenge groups so that we have an opportunity to share with people and bring something that is health and fitness related into their lives. And like I said, a lot of our groups are free, so we're not always looking to have people spend money. We are looking to find a way to connect with people and bring something to them that they might not otherwise have an opportunity to learn about or experience.
Number 3 is we are accountable to our own journey because of coaching. You have this responsibility to continue to work out and commit to programs month after month because you have those people you're working with counting on you to show up every day. And I can say from my own experience, I've never stuck with anything longer than a month or two. And I've stuck with now, like I said, over 2 years. So it keeps you going.
As Sarah said, we are on our own journeys. And so part of that is to promote clean eating and good nutrition. And because that's part of this process, and that because for all of the programs, clean eating and good nutrition is part of the program, that holds us to that same standard. So are we perfect in it? Absolutely freaking not. I will be the first to admit that nutrition is where I struggle the most. But because I know that it is part of my job to help others with it, it does help me to keep on my own track, to keep on track myself, to promote it, to share healthy recipes and to share things that I'm eating and ideas and stuff like that. So even though I'm not perfect in it, and none of us are, it is a huge part of what we're promoting. So it does help us to kind of stay on track and make sure that we're holding ourselves accountable to the clean eating and good nutrition.
So also with coaching comes finding balance, or some people like to say harmony, either way. But it definitely gives you more time at home if that's what you want, gives you more freedom to do what you want to do, more money, to take vacations with your family or whatever it is that you want to pursue. It may seem really crazy at first and busy and just kind of getting into your groove, but in the long run, you're going to have all this extra, the extra time, the extra money, the extra freedom. And that's definitely worth that beginning. I don't want to say craziness because it's not crazy, but you're learning something new. So it's definitely worth it.
Absolutely. You get to meet amazing people. Like I said at the beginning of this call, Sarah and I are success partners. I'm in Connecticut. Sarah is in Baltimore. We never in a million years would have met each other if it wasn't for coaching. So Sarah and I both have the same upline coach, again, who is a person I never would have met if it wasn't for coaching. She is here in Connecticut, but the chances of our paths crossing is probably pretty minimal. So we've had a chance to connect, and Sarah and I now have formed this friendship that is like none other. And we talk on a weekly basis. Actually, we talk on a daily basis, but we actually talk live on a weekly basis. But we are constantly chatting with each other, texting with each other. And I never would have met Sarah. So, and we have met people like our team when we get together and do, we have an annual summit in the summer, and we've had other opportunities. It is people from all over the country and Canada coming together, and you're meeting these people in person, and you've built these relationships, on Facebook and online. And when you actually get to meet people in person, it's like you're hugging, a sister who you haven't seen in a long time. So that is probably hands down one of the best parts of coaching is all of the relationships and amazing people that I've met through the process.
You will always have help. You will never, ever forego this alone. You will have a team to support you. You have your coach who invited you to this will become your mentor. and be there to walk with you or run with you forever. And like I said, our team is there, both mine and Michelle's, plus our upline's big team. There's so much help. We have amazing training. It varies by team to team, but I can say that our team has its own personal training site with training from top coaches across the network. You'll never be left with, oh my goodness, what do I do? So that was also a big thing to me because I didn't have a clue where to start. Never did this before in my life.
Your own hours. You know, Sarah talked a little bit about this earlier, and that's, again, another part of this that makes it so manageable is that you were going to get out of this what you put in. This is your business. If I'm your sponsor coach or my sponsor coach, we can't dictate what needs to be done in terms of what you have to do. There are certain things that are put out in terms of what you need to do in order to be successful, but you ultimately have control over that. If you want to work at 5 a.m. or at 10 p.m., that is totally up to you. And that's the way to make it work. I mean, for me, I was a working mom when I started this, and I had to get up early and I had to put in the time before I went to work. That was my choice. I recently changed jobs and my schedule has completely changed. So now, instead of doing my work in the morning, I'm doing it in the afternoon when I get home at 3:15. So when you put in your time is totally up to you. How much time you put in is totally up to you. And what you build is solely going to be based on the amount of time and effort that you put into this. And again, that is dictated by you. So you have the opportunity to build this huge business that can be immensely successful, or you can do this just as a hobby. It's totally up to you, and whichever fits your lifestyle best is up to you. Nobody's going to tell you it's wrong or right, but however you choose to build it is up to you.
So I know with some MLMs, you have to buy tons of product, you have to stock it, and that was a big thing. Like, I don't want to do that. Somebody I knew had done Herbalife years ago, and I think they had to buy like $2,000 worth of product, stock it, ship it to people, get the returns, like all that stuff. That's not the case at all. Beachbody actually does all of that for you. You don't have to worry about shipping to people. You don't have to worry about customer service. You don't have to worry about handling any returns if there are any. That is completely Beachbody. There's no home parties. I'm not a home party person. I would die. But so that's something you don't have to worry about. You do get 25% off anything you ever purchase. So if you're drinking Shakeology, even with your $15 a month business fee, you still save over $200 a year just being a coach. So that's pretty amazing in itself. You also earn 25% commission on anything. So say, you know, your best friend wants Shakeology, they buy it through you, you get 25% of that. And then you also earn bonuses on what our team does as a whole. So there's really no cap on what you can make whatsoever. It is as high as you want to go.
Sarah said, so earlier Sarah was saying when she was talking about thinking about jumping into this and kind of deciding if she could do it. There's no huge buy-in to this. The risk with jumping in and seeing if this fits for you is extremely low. So you have two options. The first is you can just decide that you want to coach. There's a $39.95 enrollment fee, and you can get started. Like literally, you pay $40 and you can start building your business. The other option is to purchase a challenge pack, which waives that $40. And with the challenge pack, you get a 30-day supply of Shakeology and you get a program. So you can not pay $40 and you can actually get product and start building your business. So it's totally up to you. There is, in the second month, there is a $16 a month business fee, but that covers your website. It covers maintenance, customer service for your customers, the management of product and stuff. So because you don't actually have to house product and things, Beachbody does, assess a small charge to do all of that for you. So $16 a month is nothing when you consider that. That means you have full access to customer service. Your customers have access to customer service. They take care of all the product fulfillment, and you still are saving more on like your Shakeology than you would be if you were not a coach. So a challenge pack is the best bang for your buck because literally you're not paying anything, but you're getting some. I mean, you're not paying to enroll as a coach, but you're actually getting Shakeology and the workout programs. If you or your spouse are active duty military, you actually have that $16 per month waived completely. So anybody who is military, attached to the military, has that opportunity too. If your spouse is retired, like mine is, I as a spouse can't take advantage of that, but you can sign your spouse up. They pay nothing, and you can save the 25% through that. Once you sign up for this, if you decide that it's for you, we'll add you to our challenge group. You'll get to see what that experience is like. We have an amazing group going on right now that's going to run all of 2017. We have well over 100 people in it, and they are absolutely freaking killing it. Everybody's checking in daily. We have accountability posts daily. People are sharing healthy recipes and sharing their fitness experiences. So it's a super, super active and supportive community. And I'm so excited to see how all of these people do, mostly ladies, throughout the rest of 2017. So I think that wraps up our top 10 of Coach Basics, but we want to give you some opportunity to ask any questions.
I'm going to mute everybody.
Can I talk about something for a minute?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I wanted to address, one of the biggest things that I hear when I talk to people about coaching is that they say, well, I'm just starting. I'm not, I have so much more to do. I'm nowhere near my goals. I wouldn't be a good coach. I'll be a coach later when I'm more fit and healthy. And I wanted to address that because I heard a really good talk yesterday where it was explained so well. I already knew this, but it kind of put into words. Really, that's like the best time to become a coach because coaching isn't about just selling products. We're not like supposed to be this poster child of health and fitness and sell Beachbody products. Like that's not what it is. It's about relating to people, sharing our story and connecting with people and really establishing relationships with people, which is what I love about coaching. But so when we're just starting our journey, we're in there in the trenches, and people are seeing what we're doing. They're seeing our hard work. They're seeing the changes. And that's the best time to relate to other people. Think about it. If you are invited into one of these groups by somebody who has six-pack abs and has no body fat and has all these muscles and has looked perfect forever, like you're a little, like you can't really relate to them a whole lot, probably, unless you look like that. But most of us can't really relate on a personal level to those kind of people. Whereas if you're invited into a group by somebody who is a busy mom, like you, is in the midst of their journey, has weight to lose, struggles with nutrition, has a hard time fitting in their workouts, don't you relate more to that kind of person who's having the same struggles you are, and is doing their best to work through it? Like, I know I do. Like, I relate much more to that kind of person. So start being a coach is, like I said, not about being a poster child of health and fitness. It's about sharing what you're doing, sharing your struggles, how you're overcoming them, being honest about what's going on in your life. So I just kind of wanted to just say that, put it out there that being a coach, I mean, look at all of us. No offense to anybody, but we're not perfect, like Michelle said, we struggle with nutrition. I do too, big time. So that's what people really relate to, and that's what makes an awesome coach, is somebody who's just working hard and is in their journey. So saying that, well, I'm just starting, I wouldn't be a great it's not true. You would be the most awesome coach because you just share what you're doing. And if somebody comes to you and says, well, I just don't know when to work out, you share what you're doing, share what you're figuring out, or just share, I struggle with that too. Let's figure it out together. Like, that's what a coach does. So just wanted to put that out there. That's like one of the biggest things I hear from people who are like kind of thinking about coaching, or, that people that I see that I'm like, gosh, you make an awesome coach, because they're so positive and inspiring, in our groups or on their Facebook page. And it's true. I'm not making it up. Like, when I tell you that, like, it's so true. You would make a great coach, because, that's what it's about. It's not about being a poster child of health and fitness and being at the end of your journey. It's about being in the midst of your journey or just starting out.
Exactly. People want to do it with you.
Yep.
Go along for the ride.
That's right.
Anybody else have questions or want to add anything? All right, guys. Well, we are going to wrap it up. And if this is something you want to either talk more about or you're ready to jump in, contact the coach who invited you to this or sent this to you, and they'll get you started and get you going. And I can't wait to see you all on our team pages.
Bye.
A great Saturday.